Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, February 7th, 2025. Welcome to another eBay video. In tonight's video, I'm going to be touching on several topics that have affected me directly this week on eBay. I think by telling you my stories, you will find it helpful for when these things happen to you, if they happen to you. And I think you will find each and every story very interesting. Some even a bit comical. I'm going to talk about the fact that immediate payment is still not working in the year 2025. And quite frankly, guys, I don't think it ever will work right on eBay. I'm also going to talk about a big uptick in being overcharged with UPS shipping labels. I'm going to talk about feedback numbers not changing. I'm going to talk about estate sales. And I'm going to talk about best offers. Those are today's topics. I'm going to try and cover every one, so let's get right into it. First, I want to talk about immediate payment not working. One day during the week, I woke up to two best offers. One was on a $27 item, the other was on a $28 item. Both people offered me $20. In both cases, eBay told me I would be paid immediately. Based on that, I accepted both offers. The first offer was paid immediately, and I shipped it out the same day. The second offer was not paid immediately. How long do you think it took? You want to take a guess? Guess what? I never saw a dollar. eBay lied to me, as they're probably lying to you when they tell you you'll be paid immediately. After 24 hours went by, I went into my seller hub to see how many outstanding payments I was due, and it showed 0. So I went back to the item in question and saw it was still on the shelf. Now keep in mind, when I accepted this best offer, it did not say to me, you can accept as many of these as you want and the item will still be on the shelf for other buyers. No, it said you will be paid immediately. And I didn't get a dollar. And the buyer gets to skate like Tanya Harding once again. I really, sincerely do not think eBay has its act together with immediate payment. While on the subject of immediate payment, I have a really interesting story for you regarding an overseas buyer. Unfortunately, overseas buyers never have to pay immediately, which is why I will never accept a best offer from anybody overseas as long as I live, until eBay changes that. I don't care if the buyer offers me 1 cent less. The problem is it will take the item off the shelf for 4 days, and maybe I'll get paid, maybe I won't, and if I don't, that means too bad for me, and the buyer suffers no repercussions. It's not going to happen. I will never accept a best offer from an overseas buyer until immediate payment is required. So to tell you my little story here, I made some flashcards, which I think you'll find enjoyable. I had an item on eBay for $22.50, okay? So, a buyer, if I may use the term, sends me a best offer of $15. Naturally, I declined it, not because of the amount, but because I'm not going to be paid immediately. Like I said, he could have offered me 1 cent less, and I would not have accepted his offer. All right, so about an hour goes by. The same buyer sends me an offer for $18. I decline that. Ain't happening. I will not accept it. The very next day, Same guy, $20. On eBay Motors, you only get to make 3 offers. And that was his third one, and he struck out. After he made the offer of $20, I never heard from him again. Now, here's what concerns me. He started out at $15, went up to $18, went up to $20. In other words, he went up $5 from his original bid. Why wouldn't he go up another $2.50 and just click buy it now? It is my contention that he never intended to pay if I would have accepted any of those offers. 15, 18, 20. I think he was just feeling me out. Perhaps he has the same item for sale. I didn't even check. Do you guys concur with what I'm saying? Why would he go up $5 and then not go up $2.50 more and just do buy it now? I don't think he ever intended to pay for the item. What do you think on that? I'd like to know. Now, that's not the only crazy best offer story for you. I got another one that really made me smile and shake my head in disbelief. I have an original equipment Ford item that was originally listed for $40. I'm running a 10% off sale in my store this week, so it's $36 now. And 2 weeks in a row, people have sent me best offers of $25. I declined both, even though eBay said I'd be paid immediately, because this is a factory Ford part, really good quality, and I know if I'm willing to wait, I'll get more than 25 bucks. So the other day, after the guy sent me the offer, on a hunch, maybe it was the next day I waited, I went and I checked his feedback and I noticed it went up one. I said, I bet he bought the item from someone else, which of course he did. But guess what he bought? He didn't buy a factory Ford original equipment hub. He purchased one of those cheap, lightweight, plastic, garbage, China pieces of crap from another seller. And he didn't pay $25. He paid $37. The guy is definitely a Looney Tune. Now, in his defense, the title doesn't say anything about the item being a cheap China aftermarket. In fact, it's leading people to believe it's the real thing. And the whole body of the listing says nothing about an aftermarket. To anyone that doesn't really know cars and parts, you might think it's the real thing. But in the drop-down menu where it says Ford part number, right after that it says aftermarket part, which most people won't even look for. Which is why this particular seller has a feedback of 98.1%. I'm going to check this buyer's feedback next week, and I'm going to see if he leaves this guy a negative or not. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Some people are just really out there, and this is a big problem with eBay Motors and people not reading listings correctly, and even those who do read really don't know what they're reading. Okay, I have been hit this week with numerous UPS shipment overcharges, which is something I never get. I can't tell you the last time I had one. Probably a year ago. I get 6 in 1 week, ranging from $1 to $3.79. I clicked on each one and there's no way I can understand what I did wrong. All I can see is the words billable weight. And my scale is accurate, and my dimensions are always accurate. Maybe once in a while I'll have a box that's a little pregnant, so maybe they can clock me for an extra inch on that occasionally, but not 6 in 1 week. Something's not right. They haven't quite reached the FedEx level yet, and it's going to be pretty hard to reach that level, but yeah, I thought I should bring that up. Next topic, feedback not changing when it should. This has been an ongoing issue with me for a year, and I never mentioned it to you guys because I always thought maybe it was me. But after the other night, I know it's not me. Let's say you go to bed at midnight and your feedback ends in the number 43. Now, I know every one of you serious eBayers knows the last two numbers of your feedback. So when you sign on in the morning, you can see if it's anything less than it should be, which means you got a neg, or if it's more, you got positive. So what happened the other day is indicative of what's been happening to me for the longest time. I got up in the morning, it was still at 43. On a whim, I clicked it, and I had one brand new feedback that was not there last night. It was positive. So how come it didn't go up to 44? This has been an ongoing issue with me, and I don't have an answer. And I was wondering if maybe one of you guys had something you could tell me. Comment section below. Has this happened to you? Do you have any insight into this whatsoever? I would now like to talk about something that I haven't talked about, I don't think, ever. And that's estate sales. I'm sure most of you people watching this video go to estate sales and try and hunt down bargains. Now, I happen to have a guy who I pay to go and buy things for me. I don't pay him a salary, but I pay him generously on what he gets. For instance, he may find out that there's somebody in Carlisle, Pennsylvania that's selling a lot of 500 hubs. Big lot of 500 hubs. I don't have the time or the ambition to drive to freaking Carlisle, Pennsylvania. He does. Great for him. So he'll go to Carlisle. He will buy everything. Let's just say he pays, for argument's sake, $1,500. Okay? He'll bring everything back to me, sell everything back to me for $3,000. He just doubled his money, and I'm fine with that. He saved me a lot of work and a lot of driving and a lot of hassle. Then I will take the $3,000 stock investment and I will parlay that into at least $6,000, maybe more. So it's a win-win for everybody. I should tell you that this guy is a lot more easygoing than me. He's the kind of person that can deal with these geriatrics. He's in full agreement with me about these geriatric people being absolutely cuckoo. They think they've got diamonds when they've got glass. I mean, and they are mean and they are nasty. And my friend agrees with me 100%. However, how we differ is that he can let it roll off him like water off a duck's back. I'm not kidding. For instance, let's say he sees something that is worth $100 and he's going to try and buy it for $20. And he'll say to the guy, "How much are you asking for this?" And the guy will say, "I want $200 for that." Now, he'll react, "Oh, really? Oh, I really didn't want to go that much. Thank you anyway," and mosey on to the next person. Me, I try and reason with them. I say, $200? Are you crazy? It retails for $100. How is it you want $200? And so on and so forth. So, here's my story. My friend contacted me on Thursday, yesterday, and told me about an estate sale. And he sent me pictures and links of what the person had. They didn't have too many hubs, but they did have some that I really wanted, okay? And I was like this about going because my friend couldn't make it. He had to work, and he told me, he said, "Hey, listen, I can't go, but if you want to go, here's the information." So I was a little leery because we had an ice storm yesterday, and I didn't know how bad it was going to be. But I woke up, and I did the shipping, I did a few local errands, and it wasn't bad. So the sale was going to start at 10 o'clock. I decided to take a ride there and hopefully I'd get the items. So I went to the estate sale, got there with no problem. It was a bit of a ride, but anyhow, I go in the house and I'm looking around and I took 2 full trips around the entire house. In the house itself, in the garage, all over, and I can't see these hubs. So I'm figuring somebody came in before me and bought them. So I'm getting ready to leave, and I run into one of the workers, an older lady. Yeah, older, and I do mean older. I said to her, listen, do you know what happened to the hubcaps that were advertised? Because I saw them on the website yesterday, and they're not here now. And she says to me, oh, they were sold. Somebody bought all of them. I said, Jesus Christ, it's 10:27 a.m. I said, the guy had to be here waiting at 10 o'clock for you to open the doors. And I did think it was kind of weird that somebody would have bought them right away that early. And then she said to me, well, let me ask somebody, hold on. So she asked this old man who's even older than her. This guy had to be pushing, he had to be at least 80. And he said, oh yeah, I still have them, they're outside. He's got them stacked where the customers can't even see them. So if somebody had come in wanting to buy them, they couldn't have even seen them anyway. So it's a good thing I asked. So the older guy is showing me where they were. The old lady who I just talked to comes flying out with a phone in her hand. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, these are worth a lot of money. Oh, no. I said, look, I don't want to get into a big dickering thing with you. I said, how much do you want for everything? I'm willing to buy them all now. And she says to me, and meant this, she said $75 each hubcap. I was absolutely shocked. I said, $75? That's more than retail. I said, this is an estate sale. This isn't the freaking Ford dealer. I said, you're way out of line. I said, I'm used to be hit with some high prices, but I've never heard of anything like this. So she starts going off about how much they're worth. They're worth so much money. Look, I looked on eBay. This guy's got one for $100. Yeah, I said, take a look at his and take a look at yours. Yours has a dent in it. His doesn't. And just because he wants 100 doesn't mean he's getting 100. See that best offer button there? All right? I said, no one's going to pay 100 for that. I said, I know what I'm talking about. And I know what I got. These are worth money. All right, she says, there was 9 of them, by the way. 9. She says to me, all right, I'll tell you what, take them all for $400. I said, no, I ain't paying $400. I ain't paying nowhere near that much. I said, so her and I are going at it. And I said, I can see we're not going to come to an agreement here, I said. She says to me, why don't you come back on the last day? And if they're still here then, maybe I'll give you a better price. I said, no, I'm not coming back again. This is way too far for me. I'm here now. I got money. I want a deal now. Luckily, a younger guy who was also working there heard the commotion and come flying over. When I say younger guy, I mean around 30 years old. I love dealing with younger people like that. They are the most sensible people you can ever deal with. They've got a brain. They understand what's going on. They're willing to dicker. And most of them don't want to be bothered getting their hands dirty doing any manual labor. Oh yeah, those are the people I want to deal with every day when I'm a buyer. So I explained the situation to him, and that woman is still berating me. And even the guy said to her, hey, listen, you shouldn't be talking to customers like that. He said, it's not right. Let me handle him. You go inside and you deal with somebody else. Okay? So thankfully, she did. She left. So the guy understood. He said, listen, I understand where you're coming from. You got to make money. Tell me what you can offer me for everything, If it's reasonable, I'll take it. If not, I won't. I said, listen, I'm going to make you one offer. I said, I usually buy these things in bulk. I'm going to make an exception. I'm going to go higher this time. I'm going to only make you one offer, and it's $100 for 9. $100, and that's it. And he's like, well, could you make it $115? I said, really, 100 is stretching it. I really never pay this kind of money, but I'm willing to do it now for you. Okay, he says, okay, give me the $100. Okay, so I gave him the money, and I'm loading up the hubs, and keep in mind, there's snow all over the place. It's still snowing and raining, and he says, just do me one favor. Do not leave the way you came in. I don't want you passing her. If you pass her, she's going to go absolutely ballistic that I gave you these for $100. Please walk out the side door. And he showed me where he wanted me to walk. I said, okay. So I grabbed the stack. I'm starting to walk with the guy, and the old hag started, wah, 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 like a crow, screaming and yelling because she sees I got these hubcaps and I'm walking out with them. And he's holding up the money in his fist saying, I got the money. The deal's already done. We're finished. It's done. All right? And out I walked, put them in my car, and took off. Guys, I'm used to dealing with people for a living on prices. You have to be willing to haggle. People come to me all the time locally, and I'm always willing to haggle, and I haggle on eBay when they send me reasonable best offers. But like I've said, and I've been saying, those geriatrics can be mean. I'm not trying to look like a hater here, and if you think that's what I am, well then shame on you. You should know me better than that. I want to enlighten you and give you examples why I feel the way I do. Because this is the kind of thing that's always happened to me when dealing with older people. Once they hit like 75, look out. They turn the dial to nasty. But anyway, I got the hubs. 100 was more than I really wanted to pay, but I'm still going to realize a profit. A nice, handsome profit. Because I got some stuff I needed. Okay? I'll sit on them for a while, yes. But when they sell, Cute Joey is going to make some money. All right. On a positive note, this week was one of the busiest weeks I've had on eBay in as long as I can remember. Now, wait a minute. I'm not saying I set the world on fire. I'm not saying I set any records. No, not at all. I'm not doing anywhere near what I used to be doing. However, I'm doing a lot better now than I was for the last 6 months. This was a good week, okay? I'm happy with this week. If I could sign for every week to be like this week, monetarily speaking, I would do it. And the reason that I feel that I'm doing better is, number one, eBay is really advertising on the radio. Some television, but I hear it more on the radio because I listen to 1010 Wins News here in New York City, and they're always advertising on that. They also advertise sometimes on TV, but I'm not a huge TV guy, so I don't know that as much. But yeah, I'm happy with the fact that eBay is advertising. And I am promoting all my listings. I'm also running a 10% sale in my store, and I really suggest you guys do that. And I really also suggest you guys promote your listings. If you can afford to do it, do it. You shouldn't be running on a very meager budget. And you should have some leeway in your pricing. Like if you're asking $100 and you have best offer, you should truthfully be able to accept an $80 offer and still make a decent profit, because Cute Joey does. All right. I think I've kept you guys long enough this week. I hope you found this week's video enjoyable, helpful, and informative. Please comment on any of the topics I brought up or any eBay topics that you want to bring up. That's fine with me. Any questions, comments, concerns you have, hit me up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. Rock on and peace.